Hey guys, Sean Bucci, surplusfundsriches.net. If you guys can do me a favor, I have enabled chat. Somebody can let me know you can hear and see me okay. I'd very much appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. There's a slight delay, by the way, between when I talk and when I can see your responses. Oh, there's a file. Good. Jeff. Awesome. Let me know you can see and hear me okay. Please don't use, by the way, please don't use the question and answer option. Use chat. And I hear you. Hello, loud and clear. Fantastic. Guys, I really don't have very many announcements tonight. I'll probably sprinkle them in as we go. One of the major things I need you to understand is tonight, normally we have an hour-long webinar. This is going to be a half an hour. So I really need you guys. Thanks, guys. Tal, Wayne, Roy, Pamela, Denny, Rochelle, Tal, again. Steve, Robert, Linda, Lance. Hey guys, it's on private. We've had glitches before when we used public chat, but at least now you know it's true. I'm actually, this is actually live. Don from Leesport, Carmen, all is okay. So we've got a half hour instead of an hour. Those of you guys that are not quite on board yet, just so you know, thank you, Clifford. Just so you know, if you go to the site surplusfundsriches.net. If you go there and click on products, you can see what we have for sale, what we do, how we run the membership and the partnership programs. There is no ongoing cost. It's a one-time shot. And there is a file you should be able to download. You may have to close your chat out to see that. But there is a file you can download that is Insider's Guide and Overview Programs, and that will help you quite a bit. Pre-purchase questions, you're also welcome to call me directly on my cell phone, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., Monday through Friday, at 704, and this is on the website as well, guys, 704-791-9398, and that's at surplusfundsriches.net. Just a couple more. Peter, Ralston, and Cheryl, thank you so much. Mike, oh, that's a great question. Good. I was just about to say, guys, let's hurry up with the questions because we got a half an hour and that's it. Any questions is okay. Please try to stump me. I may lead you, if it's a support question as far as a file submission or something like that, I may lead you back to Jeff because he handles both submissions, rather underwriting of the submissions, and he does support as well. We think that makes sense because he's holding the hands of the people that he sees the work they've done. Let's go ahead and broadcast this. Hi, should we form an LLC before buying the program? Mike, absolutely not. It depends on how you want to run it. We have two different programs, surplus funds program, the National Surplus Funds Program. In that one, all you do is get a list. We tell you how to do that. Research the debt. You have to know if there was debt against the property at the time of the sale, because if there was, that's entitled to the overage, not the ex-owner. And you fill out our worksheet with that, turn it in. We give you 8% 8% of the gross when we successfully get it out of the court. 50 grand being held, $4,000. The other one is the Premier 16. The difference there between the 8 and the 16 is, in addition to researching the debt and filling out that worksheet, you've got to find them, call them, mail them, whatever you need to do, get a hold of them, and have a conversation and make sure they're willing to speak with us. Wow. Perfect timing. Pamela, for the National Surplus Funds Program. But anyway, Mike, if you're going to partner with us, you don't need to form an LLC or anything at all. If you're doing it on your own, I got to be honest with you, I think you're just as well off doing a subchapter S as you are an LLC, depending on your tax. Talk to your tax attorney, your tax accountant. Let me broadcast this one really quick from Pamela. For the national surplus is the 8% commission based off the surplus list gross excess funds amount. It's based on what we get out of the court. So if it says 50, but let's say there's a creditor with 4,000, if there's no creditors, it's based on that. If it says 50 and there's 50 there, if there is a creditor at 4,000, it's based on the 46,000 that we can get out. We pay on what we get out. Attorney costs, all that is not factored in. That's something that we take care of on the side. We're giving you based on the gross. There's no phantom number there. I bought way too many. Don't know which one to start first. Linda, if you bought a bundle with Florida in it, start with that. work surplus. Guys, I've been telling everybody recently, deed flips are fine, but competition is high, and the sellers haven't yet got the memo that the the uptick is over. So it's a little more difficult to put those together right now than it is surplus funds. So if you've got both a surplus and a deed flip program, work your surplus funds. If you don't have Florida Linda, work national surplus funds, and you will do wonderful. Tal, do we have to pay registration in certain states? Tal, we use an attorney and we use an upfront, we use structured buyout. Everybody listen up for, especially new guys. So because of that, we're not finders. We don't fall under finder caps. We give them 10% of the gross amount by being held by the court up front. I'm sorry, I should have put this up there. We give them 10% of the gross amount being held within 2 weeks after they sign our agreement, and put that up there. So there's no registration in certain states. If you're doing it on your own and you have a company and you're going to function as a company in different states, wherever your headquarters is, wherever you've registered that company, in other companies, you're going to want to register in that state as well. However, I can tell you how I do it. I use a central attorney in North Carolina who hires attorneys in other states. As a result, my people sign a power of attorney to our attorney, and they sign our structured buyout agreement. That goes to our central attorney. They give power of attorney to our central attorney, and he has the right to hire attorneys in other states. We don't need registration in individual states. So very good question. I'm going to broadcast this one real quick. These are great questions, guys. Marie, does a state's redemption period affect when you can file a claim for tax overages? Marie, unfortunately, I don't have a set answer for you. It depends on the state. In some states, you do have to wait for the redemption period to be over. However, that's rare. I can give you a couple examples. Georgia and Texas, we've claimed within the redemption period because it basically, as part of retrieving the surplus, we agree to not redeem, right? So that's part of that. California is a little weird. California, we have to wait till a year, the redemption period, which really isn't a redemption period. We have to wait a year after the sale for them to review any claim and grant a claim. Kind of weird. Mike, if so, which state is best? Let me see what you earlier, guys. I should form an LLC. Oh, which state is best to form an LLC, Mike? Let's take that down. Do your homework. A lot of people have been telling me that they register in Delaware. There's apparently some tax benefits there. They register in Delaware with their business. I just did it my hometown, my home state, because it's easy, and I didn't really see much of a difference from here to there. A lot of times when you see people, nitpicking like that, it's over something that doesn't make a difference. Nancy, I saw a list today that said a state after the person's name. What does this mean? All right, Nancy, so you're going to have to, one of the things we tell people to do after they get a list, double check to make sure it's not on our active files list. You have access to that, right? So you can take the names off your list, check ours, see if we have it. If we don't, you can at least research it and start to work. Before you research it, another step a lot of people have started to do is put the name of the person, first and last name, and city where at least where the property is. And it may not show up every time, but city where the property is, and followed by obit or obituary. See if you come up with somebody that passed, and that helps a lot. It eliminates, people. That eliminates issues with people trying to research something where the person has died. A state does not necessarily mean they're dead, but 90% of the time it does. I saw, let's see, do you have a sample fee agreement for structured buyout for new clients to sign? Absolutely, Jason. All of our programs teach you to do this completely on your own, and that's included. The structured buyout agreement, the power of attorney of the attorney. Your attorney's going to want to tweak it. It's an attorney. But it's also got the structured buyout agreement in there. Roy, finding lots of old money in Florida, how far back in time can we go? First of all, Roy, I hope you have a Florida program if you're going to work with us. You can go back as I think it's a year and a half on tax. Jeff, please jump in on this because I'm going to mess this up. But the first thing you want to do, Roy, is check the county records to see if somebody made a claim. Because if it's older, there's obviously a higher chance that somebody's already claimed, either the owner or a different company has stepped in. So you can, Florida is one of the rare states, one of the few states where you can check and see if a claim was being made, because you can check actual claims and motions and anything that they do in that. Okay, I'm studying the Surplus Pro Pack bundle I purchased a couple of weeks ago. May I now purchase the Time Flip add-on program? Nope, Richard. Now, do yourself a favor, guys. So we did the add-on pricing. That's kind of like a buy one, get one reduced price, right? So like you don't go and to Rec Room Shoes and buy one and then come back 2 weeks later and go, hey, I want my 50% off. Even though I didn't want this shoe before. It doesn't work like that. It's point of sale. So you can either buy it at the 447. We may, for our past buyers, if you open up any book you have, click the link to your resources page. If you've already bought from us, of course. There'll be a link usually on those for a past buyer loyalty discount. You may be able to get some of the programs a little bit cheaper. Not a whole lot, but certainly not $100, $125. All right, Jeff. Not sure if this will stump you, but I have emails that comes to me about auctions. Do I wait until the auction is over to work the surplus funds? I did buy the gold, and I'm trying to figure out which program to focus on. Okay, Jeff, you need, if you bought the gold, start with National Surplus or Florida Surplus. It's that easy. Brother, surplus is created when a property sells at foreclosure, sells at auction for more money than the debt that was foreclosing against it. That's the difference. That's the overage. So a pre-tax list is going, or pre-mortgage foreclosure, any kind of pre-foreclosure list is not going to help you at all. Pamela, when submitting a file for National Surplus funds, does Jeff have a preference how the email subject line should read? Case number, the name, or name and case number, or does it matter? Pamela, I'm going to take a guess here and say that it does not matter. It does help us quite a bit, guys, when you do put the name or case number. Well, I'd prefer the name, honestly. Put the name in the header. The reason that helps us is because it's being forwarded to Jeff to check and then forwarded back. So they're using those same names, and that eliminates us have to search, right? Because it's in the header. Realistic, what is a good goal for deals per week, month when partnering with you guys? Surplus 8% average you've seen. So Jeff, I have no idea how many you're going to turn in. Okay. I have a lot of people that are good swimmers. And they do this during their lunch break, and they do fine. They'll do, 1 or 2 deals a month. I have people that are hardcore, and they do great. And then in 6 months, they've graduated out, meaning they put money in their pocket and they're going to do their own buyouts and all that. So I'm sorry, man. We actually have an earnings disclosure on the main site because I have no idea how hard you're going to work. I just don't. I can't answer that question. Aisha, I keep coming across record of deed searches that I can't see mortgages for. Aisha, then you're not doing it right. Go to the Register of Deeds Department or the Land Records Department for the county. Guys, I've said this a million times. Don't go to deed.com or that type of thing. You got to go to the county sites. Third-party sites are not going to help you. And for God's sake, don't try to pay somebody to do title. They'll do title as it stands today, not prior to the foreclosure. So you really need to do this work yourself. Nancy, what company do you recommend help finding liens? Actually, the way we do it, Nancy, is we'll put a deal together based on whether or not there was debt against the property recorded at the Register of Deeds Department, which is going to be mechanics liens and that type of thing. And it's also going to be mortgages and HELOC loans and that type of thing, sometimes bondsman's deeds. Having said that, we get it under contract, send out the mobile notary, we get the documents back, we immediately give it to our attorney, who forwards it to the attorney that's on the front line, and they do title work. That's why I have 10 business days, 2 weeks, to send the first check to them. Send the first check out, the 10% that I give the claimants as good faith, because during that time period, we're going to double check and have them check additional judgments, IRS tax liens, stuff that isn't going to pop up in most states. Good question. Great question. In Broward County, there is a list of surplus as far as 2015. How far back should we work the list? Nancy, that's in the ebook, I believe. If not, tax, I believe we've got 18 months to really go after this before it gets sent to the state, and it gets really hairy. Jeff can, tell me I'm wrong on that. And then mortgage overages, I think we have a similar time. Here we go. Nancy, for Florida, we cannot get funds once it goes to the state. Right. Tax deed foreclosures, 1.5 years, and mortgage is 3 years. That's what I didn't know. A list from 2015 would not be a good list to work. Absolutely, Jeff. Good call. And by the way, Nancy, it's no problem getting more up-to-date lists. Mike, can I buy now, then do LLC after? Yeah, Mike, you don't have to have an LLC. Listen, if you guys are going to be a researcher with the 8 or that 16% program, you don't need an LLC. I'll 1099 at the end of the year. I don't care. But Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about that. A lot of people keep trying to put obstacles in the way. Well, I'm going to get this after I do this, after I do this, after I do this. Just buy and get rolling. It's a step by step. Jan, is it my imagination or are there a lot of dead deed holders these days? Jan, it depends on where you're at. Obviously, certain states are going to be a little higher percentage than others. Something to understand here, 78.6% of people 65 years or older own a home. Compare that to millennials, they're at around 37, 38%. So that tells you people that own a home, there's a much better chance they're going to be 50, 60, 70 years old, higher chance they're going to die. So that depends on states too, though. Certain states are very youthful as far as their population. Other states are not. But it's going to depend on the state, primarily on the state, frankly. Nancy, I bought your course for surplus funds, surplus feed flip taxes. I don't know what that is. Ruben, is there a minimum dollar amount to take the case? Also, do you have a military discount for your bundle? I do not, Ruben. We cut everything to the core as far as hey, look, I respect you. I have family that's ex-mil. I have family that have served. I respect the heck out of you. We can't give you any kind of a military discount. We hit the bottom on what we do on the pricing. It's enough to cover the cost of starting somebody up. That's it. As far as the minimum dollar amount in Florida on surplus funds, it's $17,500 is the minimum we'll take on a case, and in the national it's $20,000. Guys, just so you know, the average surplus we've been going after has jumped from 25 grand to over the last 2 years up to about $45,000. So that has had zero impact on our turn-ins. All it's really done is our average payout's been higher, so that's been good. Marie, can you purchase Florida Remote as a separate program? Nope, only in a bundle because it's one state. We want to keep competition to a reasonable amount down there, Marie. I believe the cheapest is best of the best. If you can afford to get the gold, I think that's a staggeringly good deal. Obviously, the best deal you can get is the diamond, but that's more expensive. Yeah, guys, don't use the Q&A. Let me look at that real quick. It's not even showing up for me. Jeff must have turned it off. Don't use Q&A, use chat, please. I'm not going to check Q&A. Thank you. You're welcome, Nancy. Julie, I bought the National Surplus Funds course about 2.5 years ago. Does the ebook ever get updated? I asked because I noted a really great summary of state-by-state information that I'm wondering is updated from time to time. Julie, here's the deal, guys. So because we use attorneys, and this is something that's very important everybody gets, okay? Because we use attorneys, okay, and we use a structured buyout, we're therefore not finders. We're not going to give you links to registration pages to be a finder because you don't have to be a finder. We're also not going to give you links to forms to fill out and all that type of thing because that's what our attorneys do for us. So we're a little bit different. So there's really no need to update the book. The updates are on the resources page attached to the book. So read the ebook at least once. I'd recommend twice. Once you've done that, it's step by step. There's a link with a password to additional video training. And if there's any updates, that's also on that resources page. Guys, there's really no need for us to update the book because we're not giving you silly links that don't mean anything because of the way we do this business. Nancy, the counties I've looked into charge for deed viewing. Is this true for most or all counties? Nancy, I have a feeling you're looking in California. That's one of the few places that charge. If it is California, it can be cost prohibitive in certain counties. It's not every county that charges. In addition, Georgia charges, but it's $25 a month, which is cheap as heck. And because of that, there's very little competition there because people don't want to spend $25. But that $25 in Georgia allows you to check all counties in the state, every single one of them, for that $25 flat fee per month. So I believe it's GSCCCA or GSSSSCA, something like that. Just look at Register of Deeds Department for a county in Georgia, and I'll tell you where to go to sign up. But I have a feeling, Nancy, that you're talking about California, and they charge a lot of money to check. They'll even charge you per viewing, which is ridiculous. Richard, my broadcast just came on. Did you answer my question about the $100 time flip add-on? I did, Richard. We do not do that. It's a one-time shot. In other words, you've got a shot. It's point of sale. You got a shot to get add-ons when you buy programs. If you have to come back later, you can either do full price on the site, or sometimes if you click on the link from your ebook to the resources page, there will be a link usually on the resources page for past buyer loyalty discounts, but it's not going to be $100 to $125. It's going to be more like, usually between $300 and $400 for a program. Okay. What's the process if we have questions from the training program and we get stuck? Tell, really easy. It's outlined on page 1 or 2 of the ebook. You literally use support as outlined in the ebook. Contact support using the online ticket-based system. You're welcome to come to these, but online ticket-based email system, and Jeff gets back quickly. Nancy, got it. Thank you. KD, Florida deed flip, good to go after. It is KD, but if you've got Florida, then if you've got Florida deed flip, then you also have Florida surplus. I would work the surplus program right now. Now, come January, February, deed flipping is going to get back. It's going to really get fired up because January, February, the sellers will have gotten the memo and they'll realize that, okay, prices came down. Zillow is no longer accurate. It was actually accurate for a short time. Is no longer accurate, and they're going to get the memo and realize that they need to unload their property. We are not going to have a major correction, but we are going to drop down to normal. We're already into normal, and inventory we're dropping close to 2, and in some areas 3 months worth of inventory, depending on the price point, guys. So that's also going on right now. Michael, what exactly is a finder? So Michael, what most other people teach you, thank you, Pamela, it's GSCCA for Georgia. What exactly, can't speak tonight, is a finder? So that is somebody that registers with the state and they're capped on how much they can charge. And they typically use contingency contracts and don't make a whole lot of money. We use attorneys. We actually participate in the retrieval of the surplus by giving them 10% of the gross amount held within 2 weeks after they sign, and by using an attorney. Also, the attorney, these other guys are teaching you to use assignments where you assign the money into your name and then you go forward from there. And the problem with that is a lot of the counties now are going, oh, you have power of attorney? Assignments is one thing, but if you use a power of attorney to yourself, not an attorney, they're saying, oh, you have power of attorney? Great. We're going to cut the check in the claimant's name and send it to you, and you can't cash the check. That's another reason why we use attorneys, because they can use their IOLTA, their trust account, to break the check out and to honor the commitment we made with a structured buyout agreement. Do you recommend focusing on one county or go after multiple counties? Go after multiple counties. Go after wherever you can get a list. And guys, I got to say this again because we're running a little low on time. So you got questions, throw them out there. But I need to say this again. Please do not get caught up in working your local area or region. People all the time tell me, oh, I'm in Idaho, so I don't work Idaho. I'm in this Kentucky, so I don't work Kentucky. Why? It's online from home. I'm in North Carolina. Difference for me working in North Carolina file online versus working Idaho or Ohio or California or whatever is, like I've said this before, like a millionth of a second. It's the speed of light. It's online. So having said that, it's silly to try to just work your local area. You're not going into the courthouse anyway, so there's no point. But again, I would just work wherever you get a list, Tal, and because some areas have a lot, a ton of surplus, happening all the time. Some do not. You get into the Northeast, we have found that there are less overages up there. And I think that's a function of two things. One is I think the people are a little more fiscally conservative in the Northeast because they have to be than the Midwest and the South and the West. The other thing is there's different standards out there, particularly for mortgages. If it's a mortgage overage, there are different standards for the down payment and all that. So it's harder to get a loan in the first place. So, of course, it's harder to get into trouble and get foreclosed on. Tal, I prefer any county that has a simple, fast access and process. Again, Tal, doesn't matter what the process or the access is easy on almost all counties. I mean, you can get what you need. All you're looking for is a list, okay? And we also teach you how you can call them and email them too if you can't find it online. But it's easy to get a list 99% of the time. As far as the process or access to register deeds, that's just across the board. We will not take deals from Oregon, Washington State, or Colorado. They're too difficult to work, or we just don't like them. And Florida is a different program, only available in bundles. Is it possible to find a surplus funds not on your list, but someone else not in your organization? What happens? Okay, so Peter, you do have access to our active files list. So you see what we're working, which is tip of the iceberg, maybe 1/10 of 1% or 1/100th of 1% of what's out there at any given time. It's insane. As far as if somebody else is working the deal that's not part of our organization, good for them. We love competition. We go in and we're giving them 10% of the gross amount within 2 weeks after they sign. Nobody else is doing that but us. So I love competition because they're looking at their offer and they're looking at mine and they're going to go with mine. But I mean, our list is just active files list. You can get lists all day long. You're looking for lists that aren't on our active files list. They're easy. Tell, many counties I've contacted for auctions do not have online deeds. Do you avoid those types of counties? Yeah, Tell, trust me, they have online deeds. I don't know where you've been going. Plug in Register of Deeds or plug in land records followed by the county name and the state. Trust me, you're going to find a county website where the Register of Deeds or the recorder, okay, is going to be on there for you to search. Jeff, Pamela, files can take 3 business days to process, sometimes more or less. Okay, Pamela, hi, Jeff. I sent in a file. Okay, he's already answering that. Christopher, replay. Yes, there will be a replay. And guys, I know I've been pounding through this, and I appreciate it. Everybody jumping in as quickly as they can. Will there be a replay? Yes, you will be told about that. You will be told about that right, usually about an hour after it's over. You'll get a link, and then tomorrow I will also upload it to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel name is Surplus Funds Riches, all one word. You're welcome to check us out there for the replay as well. Okadata says, I like this webinar. She says Wegner, but I think she meant webinar. You guys are using speech to text on me. And Jeff says, Pamela, yeah, I was talking about resubmission issues. Okay, so that should take care of that. Guys, we're about out of time. This is the best time for you to ask me another question if you got one. Listen, also, pre-purchase questions. Guys, if you're serious about getting involved, and by the way, I don't care how you work it. You're an independent contractor. Work 1 file a month. Work 1 file a day. Work 1 file every 5 minutes. I don't care. I don't care how you work it, okay? Don't worry about getting into a position where you can. I would rather you learn slow and then get started with us than to be in a rush and try to build an entire business and all. That's silly. Just start. Get off, go already. Regardless of who you start up with. We're the only ones I think that directly partner. Wayne, sorry, can you say that again on Register of Deeds and what was the other search? Okay, so you're looking for mortgages and deeds of trust and that type of thing, Wayne. Look up Register of Deeds. And by the way, there's going to be a replay. Register of Deeds or recorder, county recorder, followed by the county name and the state name. And you'll go to the website where you can search recorded land records, deeds and mortgages, deeds of trust, all that. Pamela, would it be possible? No. Okay, Data webinar. I like this. Yeah, Mike, thank you. Jay, would the diamond bundle be too much info to start, or would a smaller bundle be more efficient? So, Jay, what I found, if people are really serious, they buy the diamond and they just take bites. Like, right, that's how you eat an elephant, right? 1 bite at a time. I would only read 2 programs at a time. You're going to love it because of the depth of the programs. Also, for instance, in the diamond is the 50-50. You can't find that anywhere else because that was surplus 50-50. You get 50% of the net, which works out to 22%, which is just phenomenal. Some other things in there you can also find on some other bundles, but when you add it all up, it's just phenomenal, everything that's in there. And I would really recommend you guys go to the products, surplusfundsriches.net, click on products. You have to put your name, number, and email in. So what? You can always unsubscribe, right? We're not going to hunt you down. And then when you're there, if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's an insider's guide. Also, the file you can download here will go after what all the programs are. I think you're going to see that if you can afford it, the Diamond Bundle is the best deal possible. Jeff, Pamela, open up your dish list. Yeah. Gene, if we're completely brand new, Oh, there we go. Hey, guys. Jeff, I'll call you back. Took my shirt off and everything. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Pamela, I can't see chat anymore. But honestly, what most people do is they get the Pro Pack for $597. That includes the 8 and the 16%. That's kind of the way to game the program. Work it as a 16%er. If you can't reach the people, turn it into us as 8%. Let it be our problem. So that's what most people do. Guys, I apologize. I literally lost network and had to switch over to a backup that I have here. So I apologize. Thank you very much. A lot of you guys really stuck with it there. If you have any further questions, please go ahead and hit the chat. I'll give everybody a couple more minutes now, since it was my fault. We blanked out. And again, if you haven't already downloaded the file, there is a file that you can download. You might have to close your chat up, but you can download that file, and it's kind of an insider's guide. It's more information. It's got a lot of information on it. Also, guys, I'm available 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time on my cell. This phone number is also on our website at 704-791, 9398. Well, I'm not seeing any more questions. Oh, sorry. I'm not seeing any more questions. Thanks for bearing with us, guys. And, well, I don't see any more questions. I'm going to wrap this thing up. Hope everybody has a great night. And thank you very much for taking the time to come out.